Hey Emily,
How you doing?
not bad at all. Well, welcome to our humble abode. It's quite bright today, isn't
Sorry,
it?
I'll stand on the side.
Yeah, thanks. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Look, I would start off by just telling you a little bit of the reason why we actually chose this location. What we decided to do is, because we didn't have much money, way back in the day, so we decided that we'd put a dot on the map, and that was Auckland, and then we looked at a circumference around about 3 hours out of Auckland City. So we've been north and we've been east and west and south and all that sort of thing, and this little property here gave us most of what we were looking for, and so we decided that this is where we're going to stick our roots in the ground and go for it. Yeah. So since then we've been developing this little place, and it's been coming up 13 years now. So we've taken it from what you see over the neighbour's fence there, which is just a whole paddock of gorse, and our whole property just looked like that, and we've cleared most of the gorse off it and managed to make it into something that's usable, really. So we've got a few cows racing around the place, and peacocks and chickens and geese and ducks and turkeys, the lot, So, but we ended up by firstly buying a couple of containers and placing them on a platform just in front of me here, and then we built this little tiny cabin here, which is our building our building site office, our house building site office. But we put those two containers on there and started moving some of our stuff from our Auckland property into those containers, just so we had some place to store them. And by having the little cabin here meant that we could keep dry on the weekends when we used to come up on a Friday night and cut gorse and do other sorts of bits and pieces around the place, and then we'd have somewhere dry to stay and make a cup of tea and all those sorts of things, and a couple of meals and things, and then we'd head off on a Sunday night, head off back to Auckland and do another week's work for the man, and then back here to start all over again. And as a result of clearing ground and having to do stuff like keep mowing the lawns and keeping the grass down and all those sorts of things, which was Jenny's job, she got a little bit tired of that, so we said, well, maybe we just put a shed on the spot that you're actually, the grass that you're cutting. So we did. We flattened an area, because the only way to get flat here is to make it yourself, because it's all rolling hills and things. So we cut a flat section there and put a slab on it and built a shed. So we thought we might start here and kind of work our way around the property and just see what else has been happening since over that 13 years. So we've got a little bit of a signpost here. Doesn't tell you how far away London is, but it certainly tells you basically where this one here, where the farmhouse is, which is directly behind me. And our little cabin down there, we called that the Love Shack, because it was built with love, and it was for Jenny and I and the family, because it's really, we're building this for our family. So that's our legacy. All right, we can follow me and we'll take a wander around.
And be like, yeah, and then the camera's moving. I know, and be like, yeah, cool, great.
Yeah. So all of these walls that we've got, all these retaining walls we've got around the place, a friend of ours down the road, Maury, and he's got a farm down the road here, and he's got a tractor with a rammer on the back, and so he comes in and he rams all these posts for us. So right across the farm, any fence that you see that's and all the retaining walls, Maury's slammed those posts in for us. So these ones here are 1 metre in the ground. So what you see above the ground is just what's left on that 1.8 metre post. And so all of this I've built myself, and put all of the retaining timber behind it. And then we've mass planted these gardens, and so that they've started to get quite well established. We've got some beautiful cabbage trees here, which are quite difficult to grow in some parts of New Zealand, because they get some disease and die off quite regularly. So, but one of the things we have planted in here, these Australian natives. Now people say to me, well, why would you put Australian natives in here, And the thing is that the Aussie natives, they're grevilleas, and they flower all year round, winter, summer, it doesn't matter, and they're nectar producing flowers. So there's food for the bees and for the wax eyes and the tuis all year round. They just fly in here regularly, have a bit of a feed, and then disappear off to another site. And so what we've got is got different types of grevilleas. This is another one here. It's a ground cover one, and it has a purple flower on it. So you just see the flower's just starting to come out now, and it'll come into a beautiful purple colour. And so once again, the old bees and the birds will get into it. Right, got some flaxes going here, and when they throw their seed pods, the tuis are just so many of them. They just fly straight in here. First thing I want to do, of course, is get the nectar out of the flowers. Then I've seen the wax eyes then taking the seeds, so that's quite interesting. Right. Yes, yeah, yep. So that little feeder, I just put bird seed in there, and it just means then that if any of the birds around the place that that like eating seed, they'll just come in and eat and take that seed away. Trying to keep the sparrows out of there because they love seed, so they'll just be straight into it. Yeah. This is a nectar feeder, and this has usually got some sugar water in it, and the tuis and the wax eyes come in here and just help themselves. Unfortunately, the wasps like getting into there, and they get up inside, and they unfortunately they drown. We've got some little mandarins here hanging on the branch. The wax eyes come in here, and they'll hang over there, and they'll just peck away at the orange, and it's because it's got lots of nice juice in it, and they like all that sort of stuff. More grevilleas. So what we did was one of the things we have done, and this is about 4 years ago, we developed this whole area here. So we wanted to make it look pretty, and all the way through here, all we were ever doing was traipsing through mud to get down to the chooks down the bottom. So we decided we needed to do something about it, tidy it up. So we've laid these paths, all the gravel on here. It's all got weed matting underneath it, so we don't get too many weeds. Unfortunately, we're standing under a totara tree, and I can tell you right now, just about every seed that this totara tree will drop will grow. It's amazing. And what we do in the summer times, we're just here. It's just a green carpet of totara seedlings, little bubby ones. Unfortunately, I can dig some of them out, and I do, and I take them out on the farm and plant them. But most of them we have to pull out of the ground, otherwise we'll just be inundated with trees. Over this side here, we've got a couple of Purakawa trees, little baby ones. They've been in the ground about coming up 10 years now, and that's as high as they've got. The ground here is pretty tough. It's just clay, but over the years we've found plants that actually just will grow in the clay. And the grevilleas, there's another variety here. They'll just grow in anything. They're not fussy. All right, down here, back end of the shed. This is my workshop in the back end of here. So that's where I build stuff, and to try and do all the things that all the little projects that we've got going. Then I've started off from there, then move it outside, and away we go. We've got this little area here that we developed for as a eating out area. It's really beautiful in the summertime. We've got an umbrella here which we just roll around on top of the table, spread it out, and we've got shade. And it's a little sun trap, so it's really nice. And you'll see one of our roosters here having a bit of a lie down in the sun, just because they like to open their feathers and get the sun under their wings, and it sort of must kill all the little insects and things, or help. Right, moving on down here, we've got